let's get started on why this feature was requested. Was it something that's added onto something we previously built, or is it something that was new and requested for a very specific type of problem?
Okay, so the up and cross-selling functionality is something which has been commonly requested by clients over the last couple of months, just because of the fact that you want to increase the average basket. People are just buying their hop and above ticket, and you want to have like a semi-automated process of somehow just increasing the average basket people spending on your e-commerce solution. And let's face it, it's just something which is state of the art. just need to have.
Yeah, like we've kind of got to get there, really, haven't we? It's like being able to upsell. On what conditions can someone upsell? So which clients is it going to work really, really well for? The ones that kind of have, for example, like you've got a day walking tour and then you're adding something else onto it, or is it kind of envisioned in a different way?
So there are two ways how you can use it. You can use it as upselling and you can use it as a cross-selling. So what you can do, if you have like a basic tour and you want to, you can like upgrade the clients to like a more expensive version of the tour, such a VIP version of the tour, or like a skip the queue, or something like from a 24-hour hop on above ticket to a 48-hour hop on above ticket, 72 hours. So you can just basically give them a more expensive version of their initially bought product. That's one point. This is the upselling part. And the cross-selling piece is just, while they're in the destination, they're maybe also interested in doing other services. So tours which are not a substitute, which are more like an additional, like separate service. If you do hop on above, maybe you're interested in a walking tour. If you're interested in a hop on above, maybe you're interested in a day tour. If you do a day tour, you may be interested in an airport shuttle. So here is more the cross-selling components, which you want to give additionally to the client. So now we build it for the checkout. It's just a starting point, because really what we did is like build the technology, the foundation, the logics. Because if a client, for example, buys a basket of multiple products, how do you define what kind of products we show to him in the checkout? So you need like some sort of a prioritization, which adds up if he buys multiple products, and then how you facilitate that. So now we laid the foundation technology-wise to have an upselling, cross-selling functionality in place in general. We applied it now to the web shop. So, but we can use it afterwards and apply it also to other channels, which is the next step we're going to do. Applying to mobile, applying to B2B portals, but also applying to self-service units and stuff like that. Yeah.
You mentioned there about there being like a prioritization of how the different products kind of load on. Is that set by the client? Like, for example, does it, if you were buying a product in San Francisco, for example, does it automatically pull location and then there's a prioritization setting to it? Or is it much more kind of set on a kind of like top 1, 2, 3 kind of level, and it's less as adaptive?
Yeah, right now the location piece is a very good idea, because we don't have too many clients using multi-location in one account. It's mostly like one destination where you cover an account. Today it's something where the client manually goes in and prioritize. So if you, for example, go into your hop on above product, you go very specifically into your 24-hour hop on above product, you give the top 10 priorities of up and cross-selling suggestions. If you then go to your 48, you give different ones. If you go to your day tour, you different ones. And then it automatically calculates it and combines it and gives the client the right suggestions. But it's a manual process today.
Is there a way when these upsell and cross-sell ones get added into the checkout, are we recording that so that we would have like stats at the end, which is something like, by enabling this, you are going to increase the average basket sale by X amount? Or when we see it come in, do we not know that it was an upsell, cross-sell?
You don't see that it's an upsell cross-sell because it's not labeled specifically, because it's just like at the end, technically, you add it to the basket. But what we measure today from a product side is we already measure how big the baskets in average are on the e-commerce side. So there we're going to expect to see growth over time, obviously, the more we have that. For a client perspective, we today give him already some KPIs, such as an average ticket price He sees this on his dashboard in the back end. So if he now basically applies a filter like e-commerce only, he will see like an average basket price, an average ticket price he has today over a certain amount of time, and then he will see most likely an increase on that because the clients like maybe don't only buy the basic product always, they always buy like the combo or they buy the upgraded version of it. So people will see an increase, and as our KPI in there has a comparison in it, they will see a change of the numbers there.
Cool. At some point with the growth of this, I can imagine that it would actually be really cool as well for us to know which ones were, so that we would make AI, well, not AI, but like we would make suggestions to the customer to be like, by the way, did you know that if you add this feature on, then most people are going for this top priority, this one, and this one, rather than the one that they think is the top right, because they might be like, oh well, these are the ones I actually want, but most people actually really love the, I don't know, Prosecco add-on for a bike tour, and actually each time they just keep selling something else as their top priority.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that being really useful.
100%. Like obviously this feature is a very small component in the bigger piece of the puzzle. So the whole year 23-24, so our business year ending now, end of Q2, was basically here. I always call it from a product perspective to like get back on track into like state of the art thingy, because we were missing on certain functionalities such as sales commissioning, up and cross selling, which are today just state of the art in the industry. So we had to basically just make sure that we get back on track and just like meet the requirements clients request today. That's why not really fancy. But now where we're here, we have again like these basic functionalities which client need, like a basic dynamic pricing, basic up and cross-selling, sales user commissioning. Now what we're going to do is basically we're going to apply these functionalities within our product strategy, which is beyond the boss. And now it starts to get interesting because, for example, by feeding inventory and supply from third-party companies such as other ticketing systems, or let's make an example, Viator or Tickets, we're feeding in supply there. There we have more generalistic products used by multiple operators, and then we can start to go into interpretation of that. Most people who sold Hop on Above added the museum entrance to this, like and source test products in. So now you can start with the recommendations of that, right? But this is becoming more and more important when you go and you go beyond selling your own products.
Yeah.
Because now the basic functionality, how people will use it, is mostly to upgrade onto their own stuff and their own products, or at least it's configured like their own products in the system. Maybe it already are third party, but down the road when we feed this into beyond the boss and start to put in supply, then it's very important that you give the clients suggestions and help them to build new products, help them to build like the customer journey flow, right? Like, look, like I don't know, 60% of the people who purchase this also purchase this, or the most used upgrade combo is the Prosecco combo. If they bought your, I don't know, wine tour day trip or something like that. So yeah, 100% is we laid now the foundation with the open cross selling to build on top of that.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you think would be really useful for people to generally know about it? So we've kind of covered the what and the why, a little bit of the how as well. Anything else that you think would be really handy?
No, I think it's very important in general, just if the client looks at his own supply and his own products, that he starts to think about more than just thinking about selling his basic product or selling this up and above service. Like just think from a client perspective and think of what could be interesting for the client to bring him through the journey when he's visiting you as a client, because he's with you for a reason, because he likes your product, he likes the references, he read the reviews, and he trusts your company. So all of these are reasons why he's with you, and there you should also monetize on this. Means if you give him your Hop on Above for your day tour or your airport shuttle, recommend him other things which you can stand behind of. So I think for an operator, it's just important, think outside of the box, think beyond your own simple individual product and the one single sale, and just think further and what else you can do for your clients.
Yeah, kind of like putting on projects, for example, for product mapping, where they work out, okay, well, if these are our top 5 featured products, what are the very comfortable add-ons and cross-sells that we should be doing if we don't already do them, that then mean that we would be able to potentially increase the cost of the basket when people are going through. Yeah, that would be a really interesting project for most companies to sit and work through.
100%. And there are so many different variables how you can look at that. So for example, you can look at from a perspective of, so there are clients, they're in a destination for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days a week. The needs of these are completely different, right? So if somebody who's in the destination for 2 days, he needs he needs product portfolio which shows him as much as possible of the city, like the hop on above plus some more insights on the water maybe. But somebody who's there for 7 days, it's a completely different beast. Somebody who's there for 1 week, for 1 day is different. Is he a family? Is he a business traveler? Like all these different components give different possibilities, and clients, operators, they have to play with that and create like these kind of like ICPs really, like what kind of potential clients they're talking to, and create these kind of patterns. And as you said, test this and see what works for them.
Perfect. It sounds wonderful. Anything else that we need to add? I think we covered everything in 10 minutes.
Not for now. It's a very basic product for now, but we'll build on top of that. So there will be more exciting features on this one. So stay tuned with this.